Good morning, here in Palmilla and Espiritu, and I'm here with Michael Baldwin of Del Mar Real Estate. Michael, how you doing this morning?
I'm great. Thank you for coming today.
Of course. Me and Michael did a deal last year in Romanzo, and I figured come out here and highlight some things about Palmilla. And, let's kind of jump right into it. We're right here. We have an incredible view. I don't really need to ask too much on why Palmilla, but for the audience, anybody listening, why Palmilla?
Well, I mean, first and foremost, Palmilla is one of the oldest communities in Cabo. When I moved here in 2010, it was us and El Dorado. Those were the only two great communities in Cabo. And so I think location is the number one factor. When people are looking for a place, particularly out of the country, they're traveling to get here. So anytime you can minimize the door-to-door time, we come here. We're the closest to the airport. You land here, whether you're flying commercial or private. You land, jump on the toll road, and 20 minutes door-to-door, you're here. And so I think us being the closest to the airport is a big deal. Closest to San Jose. San Jose, I would argue, is the nicest part of Los Cabos. It's a 15th century, architecturally correct community with a great art, community. So being close to the restaurants, being close to the art walk, being close to the marina, I think are all very, very big factors. And it's no mistake. The one and only Palmilla Hotel was built in 1957 by the son of a Mexican president. He could have chosen any piece of land in the Baja, was at his disposal. Why did he choose that location? And I think number one is the swimmable beaches. There's only 4 swimmable beaches in Los Cabos. And this one, I believe, not only is the biggest bay, but it's also the nicest beach. It's a real wide, clean, easily accessible, and very safe. And I think that's why they chose it for the hotel, was because it was, direct access to get in the water and be safe. So, I mean, I think location would be my number one answer. I can go on and on and on, and you can stop me whenever you're tired of listening, but, the terrain, when you look at the 2 mountains here, by having, I don't think there's many places in the world, maybe Positano, the Amalfi Coast, where you have sea level to 130 meters in about 300 meters distance. So what does that mean? You've got this steep terrain that's difficult to build on, but when you do, it creates magnificent vistas. So you have this big differentiation between you and the house in front of you. So the roof lines don't come into play. It's, whether you're on the beach or whether you're on the top of a mountain or anywhere in between, the views are spectacular. So I think a lot of people, I think number one when people, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think probably the number one thing that people look for is view. I mean, they're coming from some other place in the world that probably doesn't have this type of...
Like Nebraska.
Right.
I had a client from Nebraska, and he's like, Fletcher, I
gotta have a view.
And then, to your point, some places in Tazal, it's like, it's the slope goes up like this. Here it drops off, so this view is going to be a forever view. So view is really important for people coming to Cabo.
For sure. And, our founders, Ken Schnitzer Sr., and Ron Hatfield, when they came here in 1996 and started building the homes in Villas Del Mar and Espiritu, they were doing what nobody else in Cabo was doing. They brought, American ingenuity and blended that with Mexican colonial artisans. And so when people arrive, and I think your client we were talking about earlier, when they see, not only are the floor plans familiar to them, because they're designed by Americans, and so the floor plans are functional. The quality of construction and the building practices that Mr. Hatfield brought with him have been a standard. He brought everybody up to a very high quality. So All of our homes are built to American standards. So all the, electrical, plumbing, air conditioning are all done, and our civil engineering. So when you see these houses built on the side of these mountains and these massive walls, all that civil engineering is done in Southern California. So people have the comfort of knowing the quality that they receive. And so I think that's really important.
Yeah. And one of the things about that we were talking before we started recording was the amenities here. So you have a ton of amenities, but more importantly, I know Club 96 just got redone, correct? And the buyers that bought in Romanzo, I remember you were telling them, it's like, why would you buy in a Palmilla and not be part of Club 96 and the gym and everything? Right. It'd kind of be like getting a Ferrari and only going in a second gear. So right. Can you talk about some of the amenities and maybe the updates to Club 96?
Absolutely. I think that amenities are what drive the A communities. If you look at, and there are some great communities here in Cabo, make no mistake about it, we're not the only one, but I think that the standards that each set are relative to the amenities they deliver for their owners. And amenities are just not, capital, structures. They are also services. So we can first talk about, your topic, which is Club 96. And so Club 96 is right on the beach. It's a great restaurant, pool, has all the beach toys. We do food and beverage service on the beach. It's pretty special. And you're right, it just got a complete makeover. And I think they spent north of $6 million to completely redo it. And I would argue it's the best beach club in town now. Not only it's a great location, right on the swimmable beach, but also what they've built. It's really, really special. In addition to that, we have the Club Espiritu, which is actually one of my favorite things. We have a 10,000 square foot gym that I would argue is the nicest gym in Mexico.
That's nice.
Our founder is a gym rat, and so he's in the gym every morning at 6 a.m. That's why that gym was built, was kind of for him, but for our owners as well. And I would argue, for me, I live here in the neighborhood. That's really the nicest amenity we have is our gym and our spa. And that is about to go under renovation as well. We're going to add a swimming pool. We're going to expand the spa, the little Espiritu village, and all the food and beverage there is going to get upgraded. So we've taken a great piece of property with great amenities, and we're taking it to the whole new level. And speaking of new level, I'd like to inform you of some of the new things that are happening in Palmilla, which the one and only hotel, Palmilla Hotel, Fordham Capital, who is our capital venture company, and Del Mar Development are all collaborating to take everything to a whole new level. And what I mean by that is the hotel owns the Palmilla Golf Course. It's a Jack Nicklaus course, 27 holes. It was one of the very first golf courses here, and they're going to spend about $6.5–7 million to upgrade it. So what that means is they're going to build a clubhouse, they're going to have a golf academy, a tennis academy, a branded restaurant, a gym, men's and ladies' locker rooms. And they're going to take, we have 27 holes, they're going to take the mountain course and the Arroyo course, and they're taking it all private. So they've already sold half the memberships. In order to be eligible to own a membership to the golf course, you have to be an owner in Palmilla. And right now they're offering the memberships at a reduction, $150,000 right now, and they've sold half of them. When they break ground on the clubhouse in July, that's going to go to $200,000. And then a year from now, their plan is to go to $250,000, and they're going to cap it at 280 memberships. It's a 90% equity, which means that when and if you ever decide to exit, you get all your money back less 10%, whatever the market price is. So I think it's a very thoughtful program that they're offering there. And a year from now, it's going to be a different place. They're replacing all the fairways, tee boxes, bunkers. They're taking the Ocean 9 and they're going to make it Nicklaus's executive course, which is they're doing all par threes, very family friendly, bigger cups, all short par threes. And in doing so, they're going to capture some of the best real estate in Palmilla. And their plan is to build one and only residences, which is super exciting. They're going to build 24 condos and 4 custom homes with magnificent views and all the services of the hotel. So that's a game changer. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen that in other locations with Montage, Auberge, but never here in Cabo for the one and only. And so super exciting to announce private golf, residences. They're building a desalination plant, which will take us into the future. I mean, we are in the desert. Water is a problem. And they're going to close the hotel next May and do a major renovation. So the sum of all that, when you think about all those things happening at the same time and all the development that we're doing, improving, the beach club, the fitness center, it's huge. I mean, it's going to be a brand new place. It's taking a great place and making it excellent.
Yeah. One of the things that we were talking about before too that's really special about Palmilla is there's some places where, yeah, you can stay and you don't have to leave, but here you really don't have to leave. Like, I wouldn't be shocked if you haven't left Palmilla in like 2 weeks, man. You got the golf cart, you can go across to the grocery store, the coffee shops, you can go to the beach, Club 96, you got the gym. It's a community here where we were talking about another community close by, and they have everything, but it's not necessarily the amenities you would want. So here you literally don't have to leave, and then it's one of these places where if you're coming down, you're gonna stay, you're gonna feel refreshed. You got the wellness here, so
I couldn't agree more. Like I said earlier, I'm a homeowner here, so I know this inside and out. And you just nailed to me as a homeowner and being here, full time like we are, those amenities are priceless. Is that we never, I mean, my wife and I share a car. I mean, you said I go around my Polaris. I hardly ever get in the car. I hardly ever get on the highway because there's 13 restaurants that I can go to by golf cart. In addition to that, we have a grocery store. We have doctor's offices. I mean, you don't have to leave. And you're right. I think the fact that it is a community, and it's really interesting because when pickleball got really, really popular, that drew the community together. It's a social game. It's a game everybody can play. And I think a lot of people that own homes here for a very long time that may not have known their neighbor, suddenly they have a gathering place in addition to the Club 96. They've kind of built this communal thing around pickleball. And so I think people have made a lot of new friends. I think it's really interesting because it went from just houses on a vacation and a resort to a community. I think you nailed it right on the head.
all right, and here we are in a Spirit 218. Funny, kind of we pulled up and I was like, it's okay, and then we opened the door and you got this view and I was like, okay. Can you tell us a little bit about this listing?
This home is super special. I mean, it is. We built it for this client. He has a big family and he brings staff when he comes. So it's a 7-bedroom house. It's much bigger than it looks. And I think the highlights when we built it for him, we built it for entertaining, for bringing the family together and friends. And you can see the size of the outdoor space. This home is $11,250,000. It's almost 7,000 square feet of air-conditioned space. But what's really most important is the outdoor space. People come here, like you said, the people from Nebraska, although they sleep in the rooms, they're coming here to be outside. So it's so important that the outdoor space is the same scale as the inside. So if you fill this place up with 15, 20 people, you have the space to dine together, to assemble outside around the pool. The pool is just really one of the highlights of this house. And so we've really focused on outdoor space and family. And I don't know if you looked around, but we have a back kitchen. So when people come here, they often have staff, because it's very affordable to have a chef and a butler, but you have to have space for those people. So it's not enough just to have them. You actually have to have the capacity for them to cook, bartend, et cetera, et cetera. So you'll notice there's a place for everyone in this house, not only the people that are enjoying it, but also the staff that are supporting them. So we have a back kitchen, the whole entire chef kitchen behind the main kitchen, a great place setting for all the beverages. And that's what Cabo is all about, food and beverage. So you got to build those amenities into the home.
Entertaining indoor outdoor areas.
For sure.
One thing just popped up when my clients bought here last year. We were looking kind of all over. One of the things that was nice about Palmilla is there's still construction going on, but it's limited.
Yes.
And there's a golf course close by, and they just keep opening it up. And it's just like more land, more land, more land. And it's kind of like, I know somebody that owned, and 10 years later they sold, and there really wasn't any rise in value. Whereas here, it's super exclusive, it's limited. There's really not that much land left to build on, right? There are some offerings coming, but at the end of the day, once these houses are built out, there's really no more land to build on.
Well, you bring up another great point. There are only 40 more lots to build on. And at the pace that we're taking them down, we're selling about 20 new construction and about 20 resales per year. So inside of a year and a half, we are going to be sold out. There will be no more new construction available. So to your point, assuming that the demand stays the same or even perhaps grows, there's limited supply. And like I said, I got here in 2010, and I've seen the values go up a lot. In fact, I was just telling you, we just raised our prices 5% yesterday because of our costs are going up. So yes, people need to, if they can, if this is the place and now's the time, I would highly recommend that they get in the market now, because we're seeing things do nothing but go up.
All right, so just to wrap it up before we kind of take a look around the house, just one little last pitch on Palmilla. This is, in your opinion, I think, just sitting here too, kind of in my opinion, if I had to live anywhere in Cabo, this would be the spot. But if somebody's interested in this, kind of one last pitch on Palmilla, and then how can they get in touch with you?
Well, first of all, thank you. And the way they get in touch with me is through you. Okay, perfect. So let's start with that. I mean, you and I work very closely together. Very much looking forward to doing our next transaction. So, let's start with that. When sometimes the sales guy starts believing their own press, I've been here since 2010. I'm building my now third home in this community. So, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm not asking somebody to do something that I have not done myself. And so I do believe this is the best place, because I could buy anywhere. I'm not stuck buying here. I do it because I choose to. And I choose to because it's the greatest place in Cabo. And, I'll leave you with that thought.
That's a very good point too. My buyers last year bought, and one of the reasons were they were, skeptical. They were kind of going around. They're like, wait, hold on. He's getting one of the houses right next door in the neighborhood. If he's pitching all this stuff, he's buying here. So again, putting your money where your mouth is, which is a very good thing in Cabo. But Michael, thank you so much for your time.
My pleasure. Anytime. Come and see me.
Oh yeah. Trust me, I'll probably be out here next week asking for something. So
let's do it.
Thanks, Michael.
Okay.